Hi, hello. Welcome to Ashok Consulting YouTube Services YouTube channel. So in last class, we have discussed about ledger types. Okay. So in ledger types class, we have seen that what kind of ledgers are available in SAP S/4HANA and also in ECC, right? So in this class, so before we are going to configure the ledger types in SAP S/4HANA, I just want to give a brief overview of the ledgers and how we are going to define them in SAP S/4HANA and what is the purpose of the each ledger. Okay, so for that purpose, I just want to explain the ledger design for our class practice purpose. Okay, so it is very important. Don't skip. Watch it again and again so that it will be helpful and it will be understandable for our class purpose. Okay, so here if you see it's a standard ledger. Okay, in last class when we are discussing ledger types in S4 HANA, I have explained s- what is standard ledgers. Okay, so in ECC we have leading and non-leading directly, whereas in S4 HANA standard ledgers are included. Okay, so standard ledgers are two types. One is leading ledger and non-leading ledger. Whereas in is ECC, there is no standard ledger directly. We are having leading and non-leading. In S4 HANA, these leading and non-leading ledgers are part of standard ledgers. Okay, so standard ledgers are two types: leading and non-leading. So leading ledger will indicates with 0L and which is created by default by the SAP. We don't need to create. And this non-leading ledger we can create with any type of naming combination or a wording. Okay, we can enter anything. So here I have mentioned create your own. That means we can create as per our wish. Okay, leading ledger cannot be created. It should be created only non-leading ledger only. So whatever ledger we are creating other than the leading ledger, those ledgers are called as non-leading ledger and also can be called as extension ledger. Okay, and if you see gap, okay, gap is nothing but principles which we are going to follow to address the uh, legal requirements. Okay, so here I am following three lay three gaps. One is US gap, another one is IFRS, another one is local gap. Okay, so for US gap, I'm going to follow leading. That means leading ledger. This ledger I'm going to follow. For non-leading ledgers, I'm going to follow this ledger and this ledger. Okay, and see, this leading ledger is part of standard ledger, non-leading ledger part of standard ledger. And if you see extension ledger type, so when we are creating ledgers and we supposed to select ledger types. Okay, when we are creating extension ledger, we supposed to select extension ledger types. So if you not select anything, by default S4 HANA will capture standard ledger entries only. Okay, it is standard ledger entries means the S4 HANA it will take standard ledger normalizing only. Okay, and underlying ledger, this concept will be used when we create extension ledger. So while creating extension ledger, we supposed to enter any one underlying ledger. Underlying ledger is nothing but a reference ledger or base ledger to read the data from the leading or non-leading or extension ledger. So it will be copy the data from the both the ledgers. Okay, and if you see these are the company codes we are following for our practice purpose. Okay, and for each company course we have some ledger types here if you see, and we have some physical ledgers also. Okay, the same way we are also having extension ledgers here. Okay, in extension ledgers we have different types of ledgers. Okay, how we have two types of ledgers. This leading and non-leading ledgers are part of standard ledger. In the same way, we have different types of ledgers are part of extension ledger also. Okay, this extension ledger also I have given these details here. Whatever I mentioned common for all. Don't create according to your wish actually. Try to use whatever I created. So wherever I mentioned you can create your own. That means you can create according to your wish. So here in as part of extension ledger, I have proposed that only two ledger can be created by the user specific, remaining and all standard only. Okay, why? Because see here I want to create extra x2 for internal reporting purpose on leading ledger. Okay, that means so when I created the extension ledger on top of leading ledger, what will happen tomorrow when post any transaction? Okay, I will post any transaction, or when we create any company codes, all the company codes by default assigned to the leading ledger. Okay, and when we post transactions, all everything will be updated. Okay, so if you create one more extension ledger on top of the leading ledger, again for your leading ledger, all the company codes also be linked and automatically posted. Okay, so it will be inconsistency and it will be a huge data for your company code also, for your ledgers also. So that's why, so try to create one extension ledger on top of one leading ledger. So don't create extension ledgers on leading ledger. Uh, okay, that's why I have proposed that common for all. Then you can create your one. That means extend. This is also extension ledger only, but this now I am going to create this extension ledger on top of non-leading ledger. My Y1 ledger is nothing but non-leading ledger. So one extension ledger I'm going to create on leading ledger. Another extension ledger I'm going to create non-leading ledger. Okay. So here I have selected ledger type as standard journal entries only. So for example, if we here this is for non-leading ledger and this is for non-leading ledger. This is for common for all, and this you can create, this you can create as per our wish. Okay. Then these three, okay, these three are standard for actually OC. OC is nothing but management accounting intercompany sales objective purpose. So for this purpose, we are going to use this OC, which is a standard. Okay, we can't we can create other way also, but at the time of activation of these two these two system will not going to provide option for us to activate actually. So we have to use standard ledgers and we can use it for our cost center budgeting and commitment purpose also. Okay, and here ledger type you can see that here it is standard ledgers P and S. Okay, so P means it indicates that it's a type of predictive ledger. S, it indicates that it's type of simulation ledger. Okay, I am now as of now I'm just giving some overview of a ledger design, how we are going to design in S4HANA. In next class, we are going to create first standard ledgers, and then we are going to create extension ledgers. Then we are going to post some transactions, and we'll see how the transactions will be updated and both the standard ledgers and extension ledgers. Okay, and that's it for today, friends. Hope it is understandable and everyone is able to understand. Okay, so if you have any doubts, don't hesitate. Try to comment in our YouTube channel so that I will try to create one more video on your doubts, which will be clarified all your doubts. Okay. So in next class we are going to do the configuration in S4HANA of the ledger types creation. Thank you.